What pain is good for? Pain heightens our senses. And without pain, we cannot sense anything, we cannot feel anything, including pleasure. The lower creatures, such as insects, they cannot sense pain, they cannot sense pleasure, therefore they feel nothing. You ask an insect, how do you feel? And the feeling not exist to them. There is a gene defect which makes us immune to pain. There's only few persons in the world with that gene defect, and they cannot sense pain. And therefore they cannot sense the pain of others, therefore they cannot have empathy and sympathy toward other people. And they often hurt themselves and hurt others. A woman that cannot feel pain, when she's taking a shower, she's using water that's too hot and burn herself, or cut herself with a knife because she's not afraid of it, and does the same thing to her newborn. And I suspect that those guys cannot sense pleasure either. But there's no data because there's only few of them, and the research was centered around pain because pain is a priority and pleasure is a luxury. On other extreme, there's another gene defect which makes us more sensitive to pain. Our comfort zone is 20 degrees Celsius. If temperature increases to 30 degrees, those guys feel like they have been set on fire. They feel they are burning. If temperature drops to 30 degrees, they think they are dying of cold and they're shivering. That's why they call the name of disease a man on fire. And those guys can have more sense of empathy and sympathy because they think everybody else are as sensitive and suffering as them. And I suspect they have also a heightened sense of, they can enjoy more because their senses is heightened. So they should be able to, all feelings should be heightened. They should be able to enjoy more. And the fact that's for sure, because they're suffering more, and then which cause a contrast, and they enjoy more. So I can prove it this way, because there's no data either. And we know that the area that's paining, the area that's aching, the area that is in vicinity of that area, even though not affected by it by any form or any way, totally healthy, totally intact. If you run your fingernail on that area that's in vicinity of the area that pains, if you run your fingernail, it feels like you cut it with a knife. It becomes oversensitized. Any pin prick become like you stabbed by knife, because the body become awakened for pain and looking for pain to protect you. It become awakened to danger. It feels that there is a danger when there is pain. And therefore the pain receptors getting upgraded, which oftentimes you cannot find the source of the pain. You know where the pain started and which area is damaged, because the large area is in pain. So where is the problem? And you look, everything is healthy, but then you have to find a source, and to cure the source, and then all the pain go down. Which means pain sensitize ourselves to more pain, make us susceptible to more pain. Therefore, we cannot build tolerance to pain. And that's why the pain has to be stopped in the bud as soon as possible. This pain starts, you have to quiet it down. Otherwise, it spread. It's like it become autoimmune disease. It become auto reaction and go out of control. Therefore, the person that suffered all their life in pain, and they become weaker as far as becoming more susceptible to pain, but become spiritually stronger as they can. They go toward that disease of man on fire. They're going to that direction. And the person that lived in luxury and never suffered in life, they move to the direction of the first gene disease. They lose the sense of, they cannot have sympathy or empathy with others because they don't know what pain is. They never suffered pain in their life. And we said sometimes we cannot find the source of the pain. The whole area is in pain, but we cannot know where it started. Pain spreads by itself. Pain becomes a disease. And sometimes there is no source of pain, which is called phantom pain. Phantom pain is, for instance, if the fingers has amputated, the finger not exists, but you feel that your finger is aching. A finger that not exists is aching and you're pain. There is no cause, and therefore there is no cure, there is no treatment, and even morphine, no painkiller has any effect on the phantom pain. And since animals do not get phantom pain, and animals do not have a spirit, that means the spirit is paining. A spirit is in pain because a spirit is auto-visualizing that it has a finger and it's injured and it's in pain. And you cannot have no control over that. It's auto-visualization. Therefore, it spread all the way to our spirit. First, it starts from physical, from body, and then it spread to our spirit. But animal does not have a spirit. It stops right there. Therefore, animal does not have a phantom pain. And any person that uses drugs will tell you that no high is like a first high, including marijuana. They said they still enjoy it, but it's not like a first time. And if they use marijuana for a long time, when they stop using it, they feel sick, they feel bad. But scientists tell us that marijuana has no tolerance. You cannot build tolerance to marijuana. And marijuana does not have a withdrawal either. It's a dream drug. How they know that? Because they tested on a chimpanzee, and every time they give it, same dose have the same effect, and chimpanzee enjoy it the same way. And after prolonged use, they stopped it, and chimpanzee was totally normal. So why humans feel sick? It's because, again, it's the same situation with phantom pain. It's a phantom pain. Withdrawal from marijuana is a phantom pain. The way it goes is first we know what pain is. So what is pleasure? The pleasure is when you connect with the universe, you connect with outside, and when that's a pleasure. And there's another type of pleasure which is induced by drug, but you cannot tell the difference. Both of them pleasure, right? And so when you are on drug, you're disconnected with the universe. You're not connecting to anything, but still enjoying. So you feel it's the same. To connect and enjoyment is the same. So you feel everything is normal. Until you stop, and then the pleasure stops. So you feel, oh, I'll become disconnected. Then you realize that you're disconnected and you are in pain. And then you have to either continue taking drugs, resume taking drugs to mask the problem, or you have to endure the pain, because the pain will upgrade your senses, and then you can start getting pleasure again. Because all your senses are really upgraded, the sense to please and get pleasure also upgraded, and you can enjoy again a normal life.